Okay, welcome back to Buck What You Heard. My name is Gene. You can reach me at Buck What You Heard. You follow me, I will follow you back. You can catch me on Twitter. Be sure to hit the like button on YouTube as well. We want to try to build up some of our followers. Shout out to Bucks Report, who without them we couldn't make this possible. And I'm joined by my co-host Christina. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. It's Friday night, so very glad and happy to be here with you. How about yourself? How are you doing?
Hey, I'm glad to be talking football. I mean, anytime you can talk football is a good day.
I know I haven't talked football in a while because it's been all about the Lightning right now.
Yeah.
They're on fire. They're going around to the Stanley Cup playoffs. So Friday night is designated Buccaneers football night. So every other night is Lightning and Rays, but Friday night is special.
I'm excited. I think the Lightning are really looking good. I'm excited for them.
And I went to a game last week. Yeah. Unfortunately, they lost that game, but it was really good. But they're playing very well, and I'm just excited.
It may have to do with me not wearing my Hobby Bullen jersey. That every time I wear the Hobby Bullen jersey, the Lightning they win.
Okay, so I'll text you every game day. I'd be like, Gene, it's time to wear your jersey. Okay,
jersey on. So, are you excited about the upcoming season? I mean, you looked at the schedule. The draft is over. Ken Cook, what's going on? How you doing, my friend? Are you still celebrating the Super Bowl? How are you feeling right now?
Every day I celebrate the Super Bowl. I mean, every day I live in Tampa Bay, and it's the best. You know, I love this city so much, and to still see people repping their flags and on their cars or on their houses, and then still seeing championship banners all over. And then, you know, I drive past the stadium every once in a while, and I get I get a little choked up, a little teary eyed. It's like it's all coming back to me right now. Yeah. So, I mean, definitely very excited for this season to come up, and I'm hoping to travel this season too. Like we talked about on our last show. I want to go to New Orleans, so
that's going to be the game right there. Halloween. I mean,
Halloween weekend. I'm definitely thinking I'm down for that.
That's on my list right there.
Because I know you're thinking the Rams game in LA, which I would love to go to because I want to see the SoFi Stadium. It looks beautiful, like very futuristic and techy.
You know, this is my thing with stadiums. I think Raymond James Stadium is the greatest stadium in the world.
You can't beat cannons and a pirate ship. It's just impossible.
You can't. And when I look at Raider Stadium, it looks like a big black Roomba.
I know, that's what you said. You're like the only person that says it's a Roomba. Everyone says it's like the Death Star or something like that.
No, a Death Star looks like a Death Star. That stadium looks like a Roomba.
Yeah.
Every time I see one, like when we're in Costco and I see a Roomba, I'm like, oh, there's Raiders Stadium.
Oh, there it is. That's where the Raiders play.
Exactly. Shout out to Christopher Cole. Shout out to Will the Brewer. How you guys doing? Phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. I know we don't normally get a whole lot of calls, but I would like to hear from you guys. We haven't really done enough of that. It's the off season. You guys are taking time out of your schedules to talk to us. So be sure to call in. I would love to hear from you.
Yeah, absolutely. We love listening to you guys, hearing what your opinions and thoughts are, what games you're looking forward to, which players you're looking forward to seeing, and all that stuff. Give us a call.
Yeah. So, on Wednesday night, we kind of touched on this with KB. We kind of went through the schedule. And for you, when you look through the schedule, are there any games that you're super, super excited about?
Well, I've mentioned it before. I'm super excited about the Bills game just because I think that's going to be the most challenging game if we're looking at last season. So, if we're looking at the Buccaneers, if we're looking at the Bills playing at the ability that they were playing last season.
Right.
Then yes, I see that as a big challenging game, and I think it's going to be a fun one as well. I would love to go to that game because I want to party it up with some Bills Mafia, jump on some tables. I'm coming in. So I like Bills Mafia. They're cool people. Yeah. And so that's the biggest game that I'm excited for. And then obviously, I want to see some Saints get their butts beat and some Falcons. Those are always the big ones.
Yeah, I know. One of the games that I'm actually looking forward to is the Miami Dolphins game.
Right, because we don't play the Dolphins very often.
Yeah, we used to see them in preseason all the time, and now we just, for that stretch period of time, we just haven't seen them.
Right.
And I'm really curious to see what Tua
Yeah.
looks like. I don't
Is
know.
Tua the real deal? Is he
Yeah,
the is
I'm
he
still on
real?
the fence about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched enough of him. I mean, I don't really watch the Dolphins, so I don't know. And they had the battle. Is it Tua time or is it Fitzmagic time? That whole thing. Fitzmagic kind of wears off pretty quickly. So
I
we
think
know that.
they pulled the trigger too soon for me. I would have let Fitzmagic play out the season and just kind of built off of that.
Yeah.
If you have a good record, you can pick up players, but just kind of depends on how that all goes. Let him play out. Let Tua sit behind, kind of like what Kyle Trask is going to do this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I'm a big proponent on letting rookie quarterbacks sit behind a veteran quarterback because they're just not ready for that big pressure.
Yeah.
It's a lot to put on a young man. There's so
it takes a special kind because there are certain times where a quarterback can come in and just take command of a team and lead a team. But then there are other times where some guys just aren't ready and they aren't caught up with the speed of the game. So, if you can do it, it's going to be a good situation. Mitch Lambert is saying Tua's going to ball out.
I'll watch. I'll see.
Yeah, would definitely be interested to see. What is their? Oh, let me look at their offense.
Their schedule.
Yeah, I'm actually going to look at their offense real quick while we're talking about it. But any other games that kind of stick out to you?
I mean, everyone's going to be hooting and hollering about the Patriots game. They already are. Tom Brady makes his return to New England to play, his former team that he won 6 Super Bowls with, and he's got to stand on the opposite side of Bill Belichick, along with Gronk on the other side. Or him and Gronk got to stare Bill down in the face as they destroy them back at home. So I think that's going to be an interesting game. I don't know how New Englanders, from what I know, New Englanders who are Patriots fans are split between converting to Bucs fans because of Tom Brady and Gronk, or hating Tom Brady and Gronk for leaving and are still loyal Patriots fans.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see that game and see what the fans situation is going to look like. Are we going to see a lot of Bucs jerseys because a lot of people who are Patriots fans live in New England and
true
are we just going to see a bunch of 12s and 87s in the stands? Like, is that all it's going to be? Probably.
Yeah. Well, I've got my 13 and, I've been thinking about getting a 45. That I really loved what I've been going back and just watching Bucs games, every chance I get. And Devin White just continues to impress me. I mean, when you go back and look at what he was able to accomplish and just how he improved, he kind of, in some points, he kind of regressed a little bit early on in the season, but
but he improved so quickly.
Yeah, but he picked up kind of where he had left off the previous season, and he exceeded my expectations. So I was super excited about that. Christopher Cole says, I'm thinking about going to a game. I just need to figure out how much single game disabled seating tickets are. Those tickets are hard to get. They go really quick.
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend that's he's a Panthers fan, and that's his struggle is getting seating because it goes so fast.
It's so limited.
Yeah, it really is, and that's a shame. That's something we take that kind of thing for granted. That we just go and sit wherever. If you want to sit down by the pirate ship, or you want to sit up, nosebleeds, or wherever you want to sit. But there are people out there that do run into these kind of challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So, Christopher Cole, I hope you do get to go. I think you will.
I think the best bet would be, as much as I don't personally like talking to ticket agents, but I think that would be your best bet to go through a ticket agent. They're the ones that are going to be able to give you, all the insight, or maybe even not buy from them, but they can give you some ideas on what to do with that.
Yeah, that's a great idea right there. That would definitely be a good direction. Or even, the get contact in the ticket box at Raymond James Stadium as well. That might be another option. So hopefully, I do hope you do get to go though.
Yeah, for sure. At least to one game. You got to go to at least one. That's what I normally do, is I at least go to one a season. I want to try to get to a couple this season.
Yeah, I've got money lined up for 3. So
I got to get my money together.
So, David Villanueva, how you doing? My Canadian ass is going to have a hard time getting to see any live games, but here's hoping. It's a possibility. Over in Canada, how close are you guys to opening back up? I'd be curious to know that, Andrew.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, because I know there are still places where they're on lockdown. So, yeah, still working through some things.
That's crazy. We just lifted the mask mandate here in Florida, and, there's still places in lockdown. So,
yeah. So, I think eventually, it may be years, but I think eventually everything gets kind of caught up. So, you gotta appreciate what you can. I mean, you were fortunate enough to go to a game last year. So,
yeah, I was. I didn't think I was going to be able to, but
yeah.
my parents, Mama Bay and Papa Bay, they're the real ones. They got me tickets for my birthday. So,
and that was probably the greatest birthday present in your life, isn't it?
Absolutely. Buccaneers tickets, definitely the best.
And during a Super Bowl run, I mean,
oh my goodness,
you'd be able to tell people for generations about
at home against the Falcons. They were on a win streak. It was beautiful.
Yeah, there you go. So, I can't imagine what Ken Cook is saying. I can't imagine how much those Week 4 tickets are going to cost up in Foxborough.
Oh, didn't they just first come out like the cheapest ticket for $1,000? But that's just fans reselling.
Yeah,
I think they'll eventually come down a bit, but still be a lot.
Yeah, because that's just trash to me that fans are doing this, and they're gouging people for tickets, especially for this game. I know.
Absolutely.
I'm willing to bet that this game is about as expensive as a Super Bowl game.
Right. Eventually, I think it'll come down to it. And I don't think it's going to be that interesting of a game, honestly. I think the Bucs are going to blow them out of the water. So unless Tom gets mentally emotional and can't handle it and starts to cry or whatever, I don't know. He's like, I'm back home. I can't do it. I'm sorry, Bill.
So who do you think is going to be the quarterback over there in New England?
Oh gosh, it's going to be. I mean, I'm not a fan of Cam Newton whatsoever, and I've been very vocal about that. Like my entire since he's come into the NFL. So I mean, I'm all for what's his name?
Oh,
Fields?
Yeah.
No. No. Who is it?
I think it's going to be Cam Newton personally. And I
think Cam Newton's going to start, and then I think the rookie will most likely take over.
But by the time they play the Bucs, I still think Cam will be that guy. I've personally, I've never been a fan of Cam Newton. I didn't like the fact that he gets hit and they don't call a personal foul on him. Oh, Matt Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yeah.
I thought okay. I got all of them confused.
Yeah, Mac Jones. There we go.
Thank you guys.
So thank you guys. I appreciate that.
I don't like a cocky player. I've never liked a cocky player.
There's nothing wrong with that. But Cam Newton, if Cam Newton gets punched in the mouth, it's the fourth quarter. He's a front runner. He's like Donovan McNabb was a lot the same. When he would get down or the team would get down, they didn't have a lot of come from behind wins compared to other quarterbacks. And Cam Newton was if you got him in his feelings, he puts a towel on his head, he goes and sits down, and that's pretty much it.
I mean, I see him as a crybaby, but
yeah. So yeah, I understand what you're saying. To me, I just now he's with New England. I just don't feel bad for him. I just don't, because here's this guy and he would celebrate and do his little first down thing and open up his shirt and Superman and all this other
Oh, I want to punch him in the face.
But when it came down to it, and you're not willing to scramble for a football, a fumble, a loose ball, and you get in your feelings, I'm happy with our situation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I think eventually Mac Jones will start maybe halfway through the season if Cam Newton isn't doing well.
Yeah, but I know that Cam Newton, I think he also got COVID too.
Did really? Okay, so
or he got exposed to COVID and it messed him up because they had that weird protocol where you had to test negative
twice
or something like that, or otherwise you had to sit out a certain amount of time. So
mm-hmm.
yeah, and I tell you what, it's just it's just one of those things. Ken Cook is right. We look at some of these quarterbacks like I don't know. Matt Ryan is another quarterback that I'm not comparing him to Cam Newton by any means, but here's another guy that had opportunities to multiple runs to the playoffs, and you come away with nothing. And so
right.
It is what it is. I mean, you look at Carolina's 0-2 in the Super Bowl. What is Atlanta's 0-2 or 0-3, I believe, something like that in Super Bowl wins or losses.
Yeah, I just know they suck. So
I'm glad you put that out there. You're right.
21 Pilots just came out with a new song. It's called like Choker, and every time when they play it, I'm just like, then one of the lyrics is like, I'm always just a choker. I'm like, oh, Matt Ryan.
Exactly. And the guy
get it together.
Yep. He's just not the same player. I mean, Atlanta has never been the same since that Super Bowl.
No.
And Ken Cook, I mentioned something. I had to put this up here because I totally agree with that. Cam Newton's never been the same since not jumping on that fumble in the Super Bowl during crunch time. He hasn't. And then the injuries. And I think he tried to he got hurt against Tampa. And to me, he lost velocity throwing the ball, and he was just never the same after that. And I know he's taken a lot of hits because of his style of play. And I think he's maybe more or less a placeholder for for Matt Jones when he comes in. So Mac Jones.
Yeah, Mac Jones is, he's slated to be a really good quarterback up and coming. I mean, they all are. Everybody says, he's the next best quarterback, like draft pick, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But, so who knows? It's all about how smart they are, how much they can, how they can learn the playbook and, just raw talent.
Yeah. And the irony is they call Matt Ryan Matty Ice, more like melted ice. Or Natty Ice if you drink that.
Natty Ice, disgusting.
But just Matty Ice just doesn't fit that moniker because he pretty much showed you who he was in that Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's basically, I would say he's on his way out, if not already.
I totally agree. Hopefully we can get a caller in here. Let me get that number back up there. How about that? 813-358-8154. I do have the phones open. I'd love to hear from you guys. We haven't done this for a while. Let's make up for lost time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, shout out to Bucks Report. Keith and the gang over there and everything that they're doing. Joshua Cole Allen and Ray Kennedy and some of the other guys that are out there doing their best and really bringing great news and great content to Buccaneer fans out there. And I also want to take time to shout out Smack Apparel, of course, my guys over there. And you guys are greatly appreciated. And it's just I love it. I think it's great. Christopher Cole, that's good.
Yeah.
But I had to put this up here too.
Yeah.
TV12 system can fix Cam Newton.
Now, when they first took Cam Newton, the Patriots, I was like, this is not like a match made in heaven at all. Cam Newton's style of play and Belichick's coaching style, as far as how he coached Tom Brady, two opposites.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're trying to make Cam Newton like Tom Brady, or if Bill Belichick's working around Cam Newton's skills. I don't know what's going on there.
You really can't change the way that Cam Newton plays. You can't,
Right.
because then you're going to really limit what he's capable of doing. So you kind of have to let him play and see how everything kind of falls in place.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that New England, they've much improved their team. They've got a lot of pieces, but again, that quarterback, and Tom Brady is proof how important your quarterback position is. Unless you have like a super monster defense that's just playing out lights out and they're playing out of their minds, you need a good quarterback. You need a quarterback that can make good decisions. You need a quarterback that's mentally tough and he can take those hits and come back and play good and get ready to win in the fourth quarter or crunch time, as King Cook mentioned earlier. That's what's important, really. So that game is going to be really interesting to me, that New England game. And I'm going to go back to the schedule here. So I got the Rams game. The Rams game is number one for me. And then Miami, I'm interested in the Miami game to see how they do. One game that I am waiting for is the Chicago Bears. I just want Tampa to just kick the hell out of the Bears. Just
really stick it to them. Show them, like you won. It was a fluke, you know, and we're coming for you.
Yep. And I want to see Tristan Wirfs put Khalil Mack on his ass, and I think he can do it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, if you watch that Chicago game, everybody talks about the play that Khalil Mack got against Tristan Wirfs.
Oh, where he picked him up and
yeah.
That was okay.
One
but did
play.
You see him? That happened once against one of the greatest defensive tackles in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
So against a rookie. Okay. So like he shouldn't be embarrassed. I bet he's not. He's
nobody's embarrassed, but you got people that were talking trash about the play. And to me, it was a one-off because he balled out last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to see Tristan Wirfs pick him up and slam him down. So I want to be in WWE out there. He's coming.
There you go. Christopher Cole says Brady was the system in New England.
Well, and that's the thing that, Brady proved when he came to Tampa is that it wasn't Belichick. It was him. I mean, I'm sure Belichick had a lot to do with Tom Brady and developing him.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. But, Tom Brady could succeed without Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick can't succeed right now without Tom Brady. So who won that divorce, I guess, if you want to call it a marriage and then now divorce? Like, who won that? Tom Brady won. He got another ring.
So, again, I'm looking forward to that game. Chicago Bears game is going to be good. New Orleans Saints is up here on the list. Who do you think is going to be the quarterback, in your opinion? What quarterback will the Bucks face?
Oh, what game is it? What week?
Week 8, I think. That's the Halloween.
Is that the first one? Oh, October 31st.
Yeah, it's the Halloween game.
I don't know. I think it's going to be Jameis Winston, and then Taysom Hill being that utility knife, the special weapon, whatever.
That's what I'm thinking. And I've always said this about Taysom Hill. I understand why they paid the guy the money they did. I wouldn't have, but I understand. The guy is an offensive weapon. And Michael's saying that Taysom Hill will be the starter.
I don't think he has that capability.
And this is and I'm right here with you, and I'm going to give you my reasoning on this, Michael. Tell me what you think about this. Taysom Hill is an offensive weapon. You can line him up at tight end. You can line him up at running back. You can line him up in the slot. You can line him up pretty much anywhere on the field, and you cannot game plan for this guy.
Right.
You kind of you kind of limit your defense if you do try to game plan for him being on the field. So a lot of times people just try to absorb as much as they can if he's on there. But when you put him under center, you're limiting his abilities. you are greatly limiting his abilities.
Right. You can't do those special plays every single time. He's really only good when he's doing those special plays. And I mean, he is a threat to any defense because when you go out on the field, you have no idea what, and if you go out into the field and and Taysom Hill is on the field, you have no idea what he's going to do. You don't know what to expect. You can only like play your position and hope for the best.
Right.
So I don't really know, and then, yeah.
But I understand everybody else's argument. Well, you paid him X amount of dollars. What they paid him, 16 million or something like that.
I don't know.
So to me, Taysom Hill, I think you're doing a disservice by putting him under center because you can game plan for him. If he's under center, Taysom Hill, I know Taysom Hill's not going to be out he's not going to be in the slot. He's not going to be running plays as a tight end or a running back. You've limited what he can do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And then another thing to piggyback off of that is Tim Tebow and the Jags. So like it came out this week, rumors saying that Tim Tebow's signed with the Jaguars and is going to be a tight end, but they're going to play him more like Taysom Hill. And I was like, I thought this was common knowledge. Like it came out as like breaking news. And then I was like, is this not, I thought that was the point of signing him. Like, was this not
exactly?
Was this not common knowledge? It was like, or is everyone just dumb? So
yeah,
I mean, we expect to see, was Tim Tebow be another special weapon? Do you think he has the capability to do what Taysom Hill does?
I don't know. I really don't. I don't know what his speed is like. I know that he's ripped. I don't know if
he's been out of football for what, like?
Yeah, but I mean, he's been playing baseball. I don't know if you've seen.
Oh, that's true.
The guy.
I know he plays baseball. But...
Yeah, he's like super shredded. I want to say steroids, but I'm not putting that out there in the universe. But I mean, this dude is like shredded. I don't know if you've seen his arms or whatever.
Oh yeah, I did. I sasaw that picture of him, and he caught the ball, and it was like, oh my goodness, boy, what have you been doing?
Yeah, there we go. So
yeah, I feel you on the steroids front there.
But honestly, it's gonna be good. I'm not an Urban Meyer fan. I don't like Urban Meyer. I didn't like Urban Meyer when he was at Florida, the way he left Florida, and then again he turned around and if you're not healthy enough to coach, then no coach. Right. And you've got these kids that are depending on you, these kids that believe in you, these kids that are listening to you, and then you leave. Yeah, he left right after Tebow left. Mm-hmm. And then, he reemerges as a front runner for the Ohio State job. And then, for health reasons, he's gone again. And now here he is emerging as, a professional coach, a pro coach, which I think he's going to be more in the line of Spurrier. I mean,
and like the first thing he does is like, I want Tebow.
Yeah. And, you heard him crying and complaining about free agency and some of the things that have been going on with the NFL forever. Again, it's not a big fan of Urban Meyer. It's just what it is. Question for both of you. How do you feel about AB and his physical right now? He passed his physical. They signed him. I'm happy. Mm-hmm. I can tell you right now, I am concerned about durability in that wide receiver room throughout the season. Right. And you throw in an extra game that counts. I think it's great to have him in there. When you look at his contract and some of the other things that he has to do, I believe he's gonna add to it. Mm-hmm. Really, I mean, you've got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, Antonio Brown, Tyler Johnson, and there are some other wide receivers. And I believe that, with this wide receiver room the way it is, I think there are going to be some players out there that we haven't even talked about or seen yet that are going to get playing time. And fortunately, we have OTAs. Fortunately, we're going to have camp. Fortunately, we're going to have preseason. Right. So a lot of these guys are going to get the opportunity to be seen, whereas we didn't have that last year.
Right, absolutely. AB just got signed. He's been staying in shape despite, having the minor surgery. And I think he'll be ready to go for, when practice comes around, and he's going to keep up the same level of intensity that he did last season.
Yep. And so let's hope that that's the case. I mean, you look at the running back room. I mean,
yeah, the running back room is stacked.
and they improved. I mean, you go from Shady McCoy to Giovanni Bernard. I mean, that's a huge jump,
Right.
especially in productivity, considering what we got from Shady last year.
Right. We didn't get anything from Shady McCoy, and I really think we will get stuff from Giovanni Bernard this season. We'll see him utilized a lot more. And then also, I know Keyshawn Vaughn has been at OTAs, which is this whole week. And from what I have heard in like interviews and questions and stuff, like he's doing a really great job so far. And they really think that they could see him potentially playing more and being, a key in this running back room because there's 4 running backs right now.
Yeah. Yeah. David Villanueva, this is a great point. His route running is too good not to sign him at that price. I mean, we knew,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I just, like I said, sit back and enjoy the ride. I've been saying this all off season. There were some players I didn't think they would sign. I didn't think Chris Godwin was going to come back, but they've signed everybody. So it shows what I know. I don't know a whole lot.
The only person that I doubted because of money was Shaq, because he said I'm gonna get a bag, and I was like, oh, Bucks can't afford a bag, so I think they did what they could and gave him what he wanted, like enough. I guess he was the only one that I was concerned about. But
yeah, but shout out to Jason Light and that front office, amazing front office, and what they've been able to accomplish is nothing short of amazing. I love it. And the fact that they were able to bring back everybody.
Yep.
And now they don't have to do anything. You don't have to go into free agency and grab somebody right now. I mean,
right.
The depth, the only depth that I probably should never bring this up, but only depth that I see is at quarterback.
Oh, I thought you were going to say.
No, that's our boy. You can't.
I know, but
we're not going to blaspheme on this show.
No. Brian Suckup is a god.
Yes, he is. Definitely.
Quarterback. So I'm excited
right.
to see Kyle Trask work behind Brady, though. I think from what I have seen, Kyle Trask, I watched him play as a Gator, and I see a lot of potential in him. He does have a Brady style play. So, sitting in the pocket and throwing nice passes. So I'm excited to see what he has to offer in training camp. And then also I think he'll play some preseason games. So
yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to too.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that a little bit later on, but that's definitely something that I do want to touch on as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. King Cook was saying, Mike and Chris be having those hamstring issues. We definitely need that depth, that wide receiver. Especially in the middle of the season where the season kind of drags on. So.
Right. And I think that we do have that good amount of depth. Like you said, we brought OJ Howard is back.
We didn't even talk about him.
Yeah. So we've got our wide receivers, but then we also have the tight ends. OJ Howard is back. We're hoping that he has a breakout healthy season for once. Hopefully he's not, one of those lemons like we talked about before.
I'm praying to the football gods. I just want to see one full season from OJ Howard because there's so much potential there. You see the physicality, you see the speed, the hands are there when he's consistently fed the ball. And I think that Tom Brady and OJ Howard were starting to have a really good connection before the injury. So I am so looking forward to seeing him. And I feel bad that, his name doesn't get mentioned more, which I understand why people are apprehensive, but
people forget about him because since he's come into the league, since he's become a Buccaneer, he hasn't had a full season. He's been plagued with injuries, and it's really unfortunate because he does have a lot to prove and he has a lot to show. But fortunately we have Cameron Brate, who has great hands. He's not as great as of a blocker as OJ Howard or Gronk, but he has great hands and great chemistry with Brady. And then we saw Gronk ball out as a blocker all season. So, and then obviously we know that Gronk and Brady are besties, so they're fine with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then this is another question that was put out there for us. In your personal opinions, do you think Brady is the key to AB returning, or has he finally got the memo? I believe that I believe that Antonio Brown knows that this is his last stop, to be honest, in the NFL. If he screws up or messes up, I mean, that's pretty much it. And
Right.
I believe that winning a Super Bowl will change your mindset. Once you get to that point and you've done that, it maybe it cleared his head. I don't know, but he has been, as a Buccaneer, Antonio Brown has not been a problem. So I can't really debate with anybody else about that.
Right.
But, that's kind of where I'm at with him right now, is that we haven't had a problem from him as Buccaneers. We haven't had a problem, so I'm glad he's back.
I mean, Brady was definitely the key to getting Antonio Brown to the Bucks, and I think he was also the key to keeping Antonio Brown grounded and out of trouble. And I think he's just become so used to it now that it's gonna, remain a habit. He won a Super Bowl. He wants to win again. He wants to have a successful career in the NFL. So he's gonna do whatever he can to do that. And I think he's just gonna, keep his behavior under control.
Yeah, I think he'll be just fine. I'm not really worried about him. I did want to shout out Pewter.
You got it.
Say that 5 times.
Pewter Crew Gaming.
Yeah,
that was easy.
Hey, thank you for chiming in. I appreciate that. Ready to see Dennis Long Jr. saying ready to see a productive OJ Howard. Me too. I think he has a lot that he can do. He's a great blocker. I think he has nice hands when you get him going, and I think that his chemistry with Tom Brady, they'll pick that back up, and I think he'll be just fine. I just wanted to see him on the field, and I'm excited that we will be able to have that this year. Hopefully, again, I want to see what he can do for a whole season. I'm excited to see that.
That's all we can hope for. And then also, my guy, Tyler Johnson back there, I'm looking for, a big season for him as well,
Yeah.
As far as like that wide receiver depth room. And then, I'm actually a big fan of Darden right now. When he was first drafted, I was like, a wide receiver, what? And then I've seen him running, and everybody's talking about how fast he is and how hardworking he is. Yeah. I'm excited to see him, on special teams as a punt returner, and then even in the wide receiver room, if we do need depth, if there is player injury.
And the one thing that's kind of hurt us is special teams last year. If I could say there was one thing that it just frustrated me last year, was special teams.
It was below average.
Yeah, it was. And like Jaden Mickens, I mean, Jaden Mickens did what he did. I mean, he was the guy they turned to, because I think TJ Logan had gotten injured. Yeah. And so he would have probably been your starting returner at that point. But after he was injured, then you bring in Jaden Mickens. And there were just times where Jaden Mickens wasn't sure what he wanted to do.
Yeah, he was very average, below average. And
when you kick the ball, he's got the ball. He's not sure if he's going to just go straight ahead. I mean, you saw so much hesitation, and there were so many things that were going. He was thinking a lot of times.
Too much thinking.
And with kick returner, there's a lot of instinct. It's like, okay, I know this is what I'm going to do. Just go. That's what you got to do.
And I think Darden has that from what I've seen. I'm hoping he does, just has that quickness to just, catch it and go.
Right.
But then comes the problem of, muffed punts, dropping the ball, and then turnovers.
Yeah. Don't put the ball on the ground. That is going to be huge.
Which that's one thing that I don't think we had a problem with last season. I don't think so.
No, that wasn't a problem. It was just productivity.
Yeah. If there was, you caught the ball, you get 2 yards.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. So, I mean, it was average. Didn't make any mistakes, but when we have a very productive offense and a crazy defense, we need special teams to,
there you go.
This is good.
So David Villanueva is asking, do you sign OJ Howard if he has an okay year? If he could stay healthy all year, I don't think the price tag would get that high in the NFL. I mean, if he goes out,
maybe a 1-year deal, an extension.
I would see, bringing him back and having like a prove it deal or something like that, just to get him back in there. Because again, physically, He is a talented young man. I know emotionally that has to wear on you when you have injuries year after year after year and having to rehab and recover and come back. And I know it's tough on him. And that to me is mental toughness, the fact that you have to continuously do that. So
Yeah.
I would, if it's me, I sign him. I would sign him to a 1 year deal or a short term deal because again, that's always going to be in the back of your head is the whole
The
injury
what
aspect.
if and the what if, because we drafted him for a reason, and it was a good reason. He just has that injury prone tendency. If he can have a healthy season, then I don't see why they don't sign him or extend him for a year.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter Crew, Peter Crew game.
It's
Why?
not hard.
It's
Peter
not.
Crew gaming.
I'm making it harder than it is. Not to change the subject, but this goes back to Derek Fournier or old school, as a lot of people know him. Always said, culture is everything. What do you guys think? What do you guys think on this? Now, all three Tampa Bay teams are winning. I think culture is huge.
Culture here right now in Tampa Bay is insane. I
Yeah.
don't you're not here, Gene, and I wish you were, because Tampa is on fire like it's never
Yeah.
been before. Everybody, like I said, everyone's repping the Lightning, the Rays, and the Bucks
Yeah.
still, even after the Super Bowl. And everybody's just loving it here, and being here is just absolutely
And this is the thing. There were lapses of competence here, especially with Tampa.
right.
Hopefully, hopefully the Major League Baseball will step in and do something with that idiot Stu Sternberg.
Yeah,
I'm gonna continue to say that. I don't like that guy. I have nothing good to say about him.
no one
And
does.
he's an arch criminal, and
Yeah,
it's a shame that he's getting away with some of the stuff that he's done. But as this team, the Bay Area, period. I mean, with St. Pete, with Tampa and these teams and what they've done and how they've improved. I mean, you look at the Rays, two trips to the World Series, the Lightning, two Stanley Cups.
Stanley Cup's going for a third.
Yeah, I mean, and even some of your minor league teams and stuff have just done well, and this is well deserved. I mean, if there's any place in the U.S. that deserves what's happening, it's Tampa. Just the way that they've improved, and
Right
you
here.
know, the fan base is long overdue. And I think what this is going to do is people, because Tampa is so transient, you got people coming from all over. But when you have a winning product in your area, people tend to kind of get drawn into it and say, "Oh, okay, I live here now. Maybe I can
Mm-hmm.
get on board with this." But again, I love what I'm seeing here. The ownership, they've redeemed themselves. Because I know a lot of people had a lot of bad things to say about them, but they stayed the course, and they finally got everything worked out, and here we are. So shout
Yeah.
out to all them as well.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, Stu Steinberg is the only issue right now with the teams.
Yeah, he needs
Um,
to blank.
like, we love the Glazer family here, even though in the UK they don't like him. So, and then also the Vinnick family that owns the Lightning is they're insanely awesome people. They're revitalizing all of downtown Tampa, and they do a lot of charity and good work for the community. So, it's not only just the playing; it's the ownership and the coaching staff and everything like that.
Absolutely. I mean, I do say, shout out to Rays fans and shout out to the Rays. It's just not Stu Sternberg.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty unanimous across all Rays fans is, get Stu out of there. We love the Rays, and despite having a lower salary than anyone else, they still managed to win. And
Yeah.
But it's all about money for him, and at some point it's got to stop.
Yeah, let's hope it does. I'm still disgusted by the fact that they're trying to split games in Montreal.
They're still trying.
Yeah, and
Which I mean,
horrible human being. I mean, just what else can I say?
money, money, money.
Yep, that's all it is to him. And Christopher Cole says the Rays winning culture is just in the locker room and not in the owner's room. This is true. You can't go wrong there.
Yeah.
So
the players love to play, and the owner likes to make money. So
yeah, and again, you just like Peter Crew Gaming is saying, you just hope this all stays here. Everything stays in place, and keep going, and this continues. I mean, Tampa has set out a blueprint, and hopefully we don't go the direction that we went over the past 12 years. Maybe was it 11, 12 years?
Right, because the Bucks won a Super Bowl and nothing happened for
Right. Yeah,
16
exactly.
years.
You had the wrong people in place, and you were just kind of fortunate, but at the end of the day, you had the wrong people in place, and it just didn't work out like it should. So I don't know. I'm excited. I'm glad that things are going on. I can't wait to get to camp. I can't wait to come down and go to camp, and so many things that are really gonna happen here, and just being able to go out to eat and go hang out with friends and stuff like that. And if I could say one thing, I just would hope that people would have patience with each other. I mean, we've been cooped up, social distancing and all this other stuff, and just appreciate appreciate that you're able to be out around people. And
I think that's definitely something that I've seen here in Tampa. Florida has opened up more than any other state. It's like there was never a pandemic here, honestly. And from what I've seen, going to the Bucks game, when I went to the Bucks game, it was still, December of last year. And, hats off to Raymond James Stadium for what they did. Like they did an amazing job, separating everyone in pods and having, social distancing and hand sanitizing stations and all that stuff. And then also I went to a Rays game this past season and just a couple of weeks ago, honestly. And, I think people are just grateful to be back in the stands. And then also a Lightning game, they keep increasing the number of people that are allowed in the stadium for these playoff games. And it's really good to see that, they're able to keep a crowd under control and, still follow the CDC guidelines as far as, keeping people safe.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this is what I'm excited about. This is something that I hope gets to be in our rearview mirror at some point where we are not even thinking about this. But again, it's just so encouraging that you have OTAs, that you have camps. These are things that we took for granted last year.
Oh, absolutely.
And just think about this. Your first preseason game, or a game that would have been your fourth preseason game, ended up being a game that counts.
Right. Against the Saints, one of the biggest games.
Exactly. So you start out at the top. You go up facing the top, because at that time they were picked to win the Super Bowl.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Drew Brees was meant to have like an amazing season.
Yep.
And we put him in retirement.
Yeah. And I was hoping that maybe Joe Cool would go the same way over in Green Bay, but no, it looks like he may come back and play. I don't know.
I think, for sure. Aaron Rodgers is going to end up coming back. I think he's going to stop having a hissy fit and just suck it up. Maybe next season he'll go somewhere else. But
I don't know. He annoys me. That's one guy I used to like him I used to like him and like watching him play. We'd flip the ball and just what he would do. And now I just look at him and he's so whiny, and I loved it when Ndamukong Suh put him on the ground.
I know we talk about it all the time. He gets right over him and, pushes him around. Yeah. But that's my favorite, seeing Ndamukong Suh go up against Aaron Rodgers, because they've always had that rivalry, because he was a Lion, right?
Yep. Detroit drafted him.
So they always had that. They've always had that rivalry between the Lions and the Packers. So he's always been up in Aaron Rodgers' face.
Yeah. And I know there's still hard feelings. I know there.
Absolutely.
And that he got up for that game, that first game. He got up for that game big time. So again, shout out to him. Here's another guy we haven't really mentioned his name too much. It's Ndamukong Suh.
I mean, he's kind of a silent hero since he's come to the Bucks. He caused a lot of havoc when he was with the Lions, as far as being a troublemaker. He comes as another troublemaker, comes to Tampa, cools down, but still, is very successful.
To be very honest, I would say when he was in Miami is where his demeanor and everything started to change.
Yeah.
And you saw that change in him. You saw that change in the locker room. I mean, I would love to just sit down and talk stock market with this guy. This
Yeah.
guy's got a portfolio out of this world.
Yeah.
That's kind of eventually that's where I would love to be. But yeah, kind of getting back to him and his attitude and what he brings to the locker room. That's it was missing from Tampa for so many years.
I mean,
Tampa,
this offensive line, they're all such good friends. Like their camaraderie is insane. You know, when you see them play, they're just happy to be there, I guess. So, and he's just, he's just a part of that culture.
so this was Sue's first Super Bowl then. He played with the Rams and they didn't win, but I believe this was his first Super Bowl.
Yeah, his first. I think the only other person on the defense that had a Super Bowl was Shaq.
JPP.
Oh, and JPP.
Yeah, JPP with the Giants.
Yeah, those were the only two.
So just think about that, how contagious that is. All these players, and you think about all your players that you really liked through the rough years when the Bucks were horrible and they were poorly managed and they didn't have a direction and all this other good stuff that was happening at that time, all the other bad stuff, I should say. And the only thing we had to hang our hat on was the Bucks had a 10-win season with Raheem Morris, and that's all we had.
We were so close to getting a wild card that year. I remember.
Yeah, I remember. I was so mad.
It was like this team had to win, and then this team had to lose, and then this team had to do this, and like it was like one of those boards where it was everything had to work, but obviously it didn't. So
yeah, so again, the Bucks figured out the deficiencies on the team. They upgraded those players, and again, you think about all the memorable plays. And Ndamukong Suh hasn't been here that long, but
has it been like 2 or 3 years?
And there are so many memorable plays that he's made since he's been here that you're just like, wow, this guy showed up. So, I'm thankful he's here. I'm thankful he came back. Same with Shaq, JPP, the same with him. I'm really looking forward to Joe Tryon. That's a guy that I have my eye on. So I want to ask you, because we're coming up on an hour here almost. I want to get your opinion. Name 5 players that you're actually looking forward to looking at during camp or preseason.
Number 1, so like players that are
it could be offense, defense, special teams.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with players that are not like recognized normally, or like
it could be anybody. It could just be anybody.
Well, obviously, I want to see Devin White, and I want to see him improve on his skills and just become, the best linebacker in the world. So, and then, I want to see my boy Tyler Johnson out there, getting some reps. People have said that, he's slow and not very fast and not a good route runner, but his hands are amazing. So I want to see him, improve on his route running. Maybe he can learn a lot from AB. Also excited. Yeah. Joe Tryon right now, he's not doing anything because of his knee injury, but he is like at OTAs and he's sitting, or he's not sitting. So he's like on the field and he's walking through the movements. He's learning the book, everything. So he'll be ready for practice or for training camp. And then, Tyler Darden is definitely going to be interesting to see if, the speed is real. And then if he's got the hands like everybody says he does. And then 5th player, I think would be like Peter Crew. Gaming said Kyle Trask, I think will be interesting to see as well, to see if he could possibly be the future.
All right. I like that. So for me, my list is going to be some of the players that, just from last year. Number 1, Tristan Wirfs. So Tristan Wirfs will be the guy that I'm really looking to see him and see how he comes back from that amazing rookie season. So,
right.
Tristan Wirfs will be number 1. Number 2 is going to be, just Leonard Fournette. I want to see what Leonard Fournette does, starting the season with the same team, how he comes in, and we'll just kind of see how he does. 3rd guy is Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones was so close to getting 1,000 yards rushing. I know every single year he goes out and he tries to improve. He tries to improve his game. He tries to elevate his game every single year. and he comes out here and works out with Coach Luke, and he does his thing. So, here's another guy, and I know that KB did it first because I was slow to do it, but I am predicting that he does get over 1,000 yards this year.
Yeah, I definitely think so. If he stays healthy.
If healthy, I'm picking him to go over 1,000 yards.
Right.
So we've got him. Another person that I really want to see is Shaq Barrett and Vita Vea together. And those are my other two, basically. But with Vita Vea healthy and Shaq Barrett, I just know that Shaq would have had he'd had a better season last year. I think would have had a lot more sacks with Vita on the field. And I think it'll be good to see the two of those guys working together. So that's kind of round up my list. And of course, I'm going to throw an honorable mention, my guy, Ryan Suckup.
I mean, we can only expect phenomenal things from him.
Exactly. He made you forget that the Bucs ever had a kicking problem.
I know. Like, when it comes up for him to line a kick, I'm like, all right, time to do a stretch, get some food.
Exactly. Go get something to drink, and we'll be back.
Oh, he made it? All right. Good job, Ryan. Hats off to you.
And again, I do want to thank you for the T-shirt that I wear all the time, because this guy likes Ryan.
This guy loves Ryan.
Exactly. So that's my list. I think this is a fun show tonight. We kind of talked about some games we're going to go to, and I'm really looking forward to the Halloween game. Yeah. I don't know how the game is going to go. I don't want to give a prediction or anything like that, like a fool. But
right, we don't know how the season's going to go.
Right, we don't know how the season's going to go or where we're going to be. Yeah, we can do predictions probably the week before.
Yeah, the Friday before. Oh, exactly. If we do go, we can do a live Buck What You Heard from Bourbon Street.
We should do that. Yeah, we should make that happen. So, are you dressing for Halloween this year? I missed it last year.
I mean, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, so I always love Halloween. I did dress up for Halloween this past year. I went with my godchildren, gone trick-or-treating. So, I mean, it's not my normal Halloween, but this one, NOLA Voodoo right here, like Johnny Dean is saying, NOLA Voodoo Gang.
New Orleans, yeah.
Yeah, I dressed once as a voodoo queen, so maybe I'll bring that back.
Yeah, there you go. That could work. I don't know how many they've got there, but
that's probably a lot.
And Johnny Dean, shout out to Johnny Dean, longtime listener. I appreciate you. Again, this is what makes Bucks Report so great. Just getting to come in here and hang out with people, and it's a lot of fun, and I really appreciate it. The curse is broken.
Chicken curse.
Yeah, the curse is broken. Absolutely. You think about Martin Gramatica and all the great things he did, and then
Matt Bryan.
Matt Bryan created the curse. And
you think he created the curse when he left?
Yep. When he left.
Okay.
Because if you think about it,
he was the last good kicker we had.
He was amazing, and then he went to Atlanta, and it just tore a piece of my soul out.
Yeah, I hated that so much.
Yeah, kind of like when Warrick Dunn went to Atlanta. There's people, but ex-Bucks. Well, the only one I wasn't invested in when it comes to players that go to division rival teams.
I hate it.
Was Adrian Claiborne when he went to Atlanta. I didn't care.
I mean, I was always a fan of Claiborne. I thought he was really great. Who is he with now? He's not with the Falcons anymore.
I think he's with.
He went to Washington.
Or is he with Cleveland?
I don't know if he's still with. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I know he went to Washington. I don't know if he's still with them. But yeah, I was not a fan of when McCoy went to. I was not a fan of when McCoy went to the Panthers. I was done after that. I did not like that at all. At that time, the Panthers were my least favorite team. So for him to go there was not a good thing in my head.
Yep, he's in Cleveland. Adrian Claiborne is in Cleveland. Yeah, Connor Barth was a good kicker, but
he wasn't bad.
He got that.
He wasn't as good as Ryan Suckup.
He got an Achilles injury playing pickup basketball, and he just wasn't.
I remember that. And then, we had that whole MRSA thing. That was that was the tip
what was that guy's name?
I don't remember.
I
don't remember. He never even played because we got him from the Jets, I believe it was, or from the Giants. What was his name? It started with a T, his last name. I don't know.
We had to pay him. Yeah, the Bucks had to pay him some bread or whatever. But I just that was I think Gerald McCoy was one of those guys that
was the biggest one that hurt.
It didn't so much hurt. He's petty. And I'm gonna go on record saying he's petty. I've seen him block Bucks fans because they didn't like something.
Absolutely, he does that all the time. So does what's his name, Warren Sapp. But
so when he did the interview after he did the press conference, and he told in Carolina, he said, "I'm home." I was pissed.
Oh, I did not hear that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know how he does that airplane thing?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he gets into the Carolina Stadium and he says, "I'm home," and he does the whole airplane thing, and he goes
out of here. And you want to come back to Tampa? Go back home. Go to Carolina.
Carl Nicks came from the New Orleans Saints, which I think that was voodoo cursed when he got here, but. Well, I'll get back to him in just a second. No, but Gerald McCoy, I guess, was talking about driving past Raymond James Stadium and all this other blah.
Yeah,
blah,
recently he posted on.
Yeah, I was pissed, so I went out and found the Tampa Bay Times article in the video of him saying, "I'm home." He can
keep the receipt.
Yep, exactly. He could take his ass back to Carolina then, since he's home.
Go back home.
Exactly. So that's just my opinion about it, and I'll leave it that way. I mean, it would have been cool if he would have been classy and been like, "Okay, I want to thank the Buccaneers organization. I appreciate you guys going into Carolina. He's on the back end of his career. Going into Carolina, I want to see what I could do to help this team win. I want to, this is what I'm here for, to help the young guys and help this team win. Blah blah blah. But don't come in here talking
Lawrence Tynes.
Yeah,
sorry, Lawrence I interrupted you.
Yeah, MRSA kicker.
I told you it started with a T.
Yep, you were right. So that was just I don't know. That just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then there was an interview when he left Tampa. That was kind of shady too. He kind of threw some shade as he was going out, coming to Tampa or something like that. And then you see Cam Newton talking about one man's trash is another man's treasure or something.
Well,
when he was talking about Joe McCoy, and Joe McCoy kind of laughed about it. So, yeah.
I think the coaching staff did him dirty a little bit, but I don't know. Coaching staff did a lot of players dirty back in that day.
Yeah, I don't know. I just know that when he left, the Bucks became a better run defense. I know when he left, the teams running up 100 yards on that team just stopped when Joe McCoy left.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that he's the reason, but I'm just putting that out there in the universe.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. And he threw shade at Sue for picking his 93. But I think.
Was Sue already 93 though?
Yeah, he was already 93.
Yeah, so get out of here.
Exactly. But my biggest thing was, I mean, you look what Sue has done. His production. Could you imagine him being a Buccaneer? Just,
Sue?
Yeah.
So when Sue first was, was picked up by Tampa, I was concerned because I knew, his record of being a troublemaker on the field and getting a lot of penalties.
Mm-hmm.
But, he showed that he's still, that he was a good player. He cleaned up his penalties and still can cause Rico Lava havoc.
Yep, absolutely. Johnny Dean, I can't name one big play from GMAC. What I do remember is him dancing on the sidelines during a loss. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I remember that. I definitely remember that. And, when I think about, Ndamukong Suh, what was that? The fumble recovery that he ran into the end zone, the number of hits he got on Aaron Rodgers. The list could go on and on just in the short period of time that he's been here. And he's more than made up. I mean, he's that number 93. When I think of 93, I think of Ndamukong Suh.
Ndamukong Suh.
I'm sorry, that's just where I'm at with him. So, but anyway, well, I can't believe it. What are you doing this weekend? Anything exciting?
Actually, this weekend is Sunset Music Festival in Tampa. That's at Raymond James Stadium. It's
Hey.
a EDM festival, so that's going to be lots of fun.
Yep.
Excited for that.
All right.
What do you
So,
got going on this weekend? Just got back from Mexico, didn't you?
I just got back from Mexico.
I see the tan. You look good. You drinking tequila?
Oh my God. I don't want to see tequila for a while. I just we went to Tequila, Mexico, and we went to a Fortaleza is some of the best tequila. It's handmade. It's stone ground. The only place in the world that stone grounds their tequila. Everybody else is like automated. So, I mean, it gives it like this flavor. And I was trying to find it there. They're because of COVID, they're like sold out of the tequila that they would normally sell to us tourists. So I was good with that. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get back to the US and I'll go and get a bottle. And it's like $90 a bottle.
Wow.
Here. But while we were there, I mean, they let us try the 3 different kinds. They fed us, and they took us on a tour of the distillery, and all these agave is just like
the plant. It's everywhere.
Yeah, so it's just like everywhere. And if you follow me if you're following me on Instagram, you'll see I got a bunch of pictures on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw all the pictures. I was jealous.
Yeah, and it was fun. It was fun, and I hopefully get to go back again. I do want to say that the people in Mexico are some of the most hospitable people that I've ever met, and I really and made some really good friends too. I met some people from Texas that were on the tour with us, and some people from Las Vegas. So
you meet friends everywhere you go, so it's not bad.
I try. I feel like I'm the man of the people. So
yeah, of course.
So that's pretty much it for us. I'm sorry nobody got to call in. I really wanted somebody to call in.
It's all right. I mean, not much is happening right now in the off season, so we are just waiting, getting excited for the regular season.
Yeah, guys, and we'll be back doing this again next week, and hopefully we'll have a little bit more to talk about. Oh, something else may happen. We don't know. But anyway, that's it for us. Again, shout out to Bucks Report. Thank you guys so much for what you do, Keith and the crew over there, Johnny Dean, and everybody in the chat. Thank you so much for interacting with us. That's always appreciated. Yes, and always can hey, I would love it if you guys do that on a regular basis. And Tampa Bay, give everybody your final thoughts. We're going to roll out of here. It's always appreciated.
Yeah, final thoughts. I mean, I'll go back to what we were talking about, the culture here in Tampa Bay and sports. It's just electrifying. Been focusing on the Lightning and the Rays. They're winning. And then, like I said, Fridays are my, Bucks Talk Fridays. Every other day is Lightning and Rays. So just happy to live in Tampa Bay. Yeah. One of the greatest cities ever. So
yeah, you're not wrong there. I can't argue with that. For me, I just want to say that I would hope that people can show understanding. I mean, we're all coming out of lockdown right now, and you see people that are kind of edgy, and just understand that some people may be going through something. So it's easy to get mad or get irritated with somebody, but just kind of keep that in mind. You don't know what people are going through at that very moment. I watched this movie called Unhinged. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you guys get a chance to watch it, I suggest you watch it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah. So remember, Unhinged is on Prime. Check it out. You'll thank me later. But anyway, yeah, just please, guys, if you get a chance, just show some understanding. We don't know what people are going through, and we just want the best. We just want the best for everybody. We're all in the struggle together. So that's pretty much it for me. And I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for checking us out. And everybody have a great weekend. Happy Memorial Day.
Peace, everyone.